Pinfire commentary. Oh shit! Shadow of the Colossus. I know that game from any fucking view. I played the shit out of this motherfucker when this shit came out. Oh, he's fighting oh god, that's gonna drive me nuts. What's his name? Fucker, it's gonna bother me until I remember his name. Anyway, Pinfire commentary number 297. Treehugger has sent in. He just gets to send in random shit. You know, one of the requirements that I have over on the Prestige Gamers forum is that for people that are long-time members or constant members, people that post a lot of things over there, basically they can send in whatever they want, anytime they want, whatever video they want, as long as it follows the rules, you know, the whole 10 minutes and shit like that. So he gets to send in whatever he wanted. He just said, you know what, fucking fast forwarding that shit. He know the rules. So he just wanted to send in whatever the hell it was, and he sent in one of the greatest games that was ever on some of the older consoles and shit like that. I think this was a PlayStation 2 game. I played the fuck out of this game, man. This is an Phalanx. That's his name. Fuck, it took me fucking forever to remember his goddamn name. That's Phalanx. This is later in the game. This is one of the the last Colossi you're supposed to face in this motherfucker, man. All right. For anyone not familiar with this game, this is called Shadow of the Colossus, and this was a really cool game. For anyone that wants to see what an artistic game looks like, this was sort of like a puzzle game before puzzle games ever existed and shit like that. For those that are not familiar, there was a company, they created a game called Ico, and Ico was this little horn kid or whatever the fuck. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You play this shit, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. But anyway, in this game, this was supposed to be like the spiritual successor to this motherfucker, and you're having all kinds of issues getting on the top of this bitch. What the fuck? Yeah, you gotta wait for this shit. But anyway, the way this game works is this character here is called Wander. He's trying to save his girlfriend. She ain't give him no ass at the end of the game anyway. But he's basically trying to save the life of a girl. I've heard her name said so many different names. It's either Mono or Mono, depending on how you want to pronounce her fucking name. It's M-O-N-O. That's her name. To me, it looks like Mono. Some people say Mono, whatever the fuck, man. Anyway, in order to save her, he has to fight and defeat 16 of these giant enemies, and this is the biggest one of the game, called Colossi. And basically, each one is a puzzle in how he has to fight them. Some of them are flying, some of them are in the water, some of them are on the ground, some of them have these big clubs and shit like that. But basically, you have to figure out where their soft spot is, and he's looking for it. There he is, and I found it. Basically, you have to find the soft spot on each one of these Colossi. You have to stab it or whatever the hell it is, and there he's gonna go finally fucking stab it. And each time you do that, obviously you see in the top left-hand corner, there's the health bar. And then the health bar drops down, and basically you have to keep doing it until you finally defeat each one of these Colossus and shit like that. So at the end of the game, after you beat all 16 of these motherfuckers, then you get the ending of this son of a bitch. Now the way it works is this game is really artistic. A lot of these games that have been, you know, like these artistic games that have come out over the years, like Journey, or what was that one, Ori and the Blind Forest and stuff like that. All these games that go for the artistic look, they really take their cue from this game, as well as the game that came before it, which was Ico, and the game that's supposed to be coming after it, the Last Guardian, which is taking fucking forever. Oh man, that game's never coming out. No, but anyway, the whole point of this game is you're literally just fighting these 16 bosses. This is it. There is nothing in between. There's no combat, there's no interaction with characters, there's no cities, there's nothing. This is all that's in the game. It's just, and then there's your trusty horse. This is all that's in the game. All of these characters are all you're fighting in the entire game. You have to wander around this giant world and basically find all 16 of these motherfuckers. And each one, you know, sort of like a mini puzzle, if you will. They're not difficult to solve. Basically, you have to find the sweet spot on each one of these bosses, and then once you do find the sweet spot, you have to follow the pattern. Once you follow the pattern, then you're able to kill each one of these bosses, and then by the time you get to the end of the game, you've already killed all 16 of these motherfuckers. Now, when this game first came out, a lot of people didn't quite understand it. You know, they were like, wait a second, all I gotta do is just kill 16 enemies. Yeah, that's it. That's really the whole gist of this game, is all you're fighting is 16 enemies, and you can see how large this world is. You know, it's just a giant open world or whatever the hell it is, and you're supposed to beat all these monsters and shit like that. But I'll tell you right now, when this game came out, this really was an excellent game, because part of it, and you know, we talk about the game, as I mentioned, Journey. Part of this game, the whole appeal of it is just the openness and the wandering around of your character, just finding, you know, trying to find the bosses and shit like that. You're basically wandering this large-scale open world trying to find these motherfuckers. Then once you finally find them, then is when you finally get to take them on, and you got to figure out the puzzle and shit like that. And you almost feel bad for these things, because look at how giant these damn things are. They don't give a fuck about you. They really don't. They have no intention of bothering you. As long as you don't bother them, they don't bother you. But in the game, of course, this little motherfucker has to kill them all. But anyway, like I mentioned, man, there's 16 of these motherfuckers, and each one, I don't want to say they get more difficult or whatever it is, but they become a little bit more of a challenge or a puzzle and shit like that. And this is one of the, I want to say this is like, what is it, number 10, 11, 12? It's towards the end of the game that you really encounter this motherfucker. And there's a couple of flying ones, there's a couple of ones in the water. But anyway, for anyone that's ever looked for an artistic game like that, if you like the game Journey, if you're looking at The Last Guardian, like, oh, maybe The Last Guardian's a good game, they really stem from Shadow of the Colossus as well as Ico and shit like that. These were two of the most original artistic games that came out. I mean, we're talking almost 10 fucking years ago at this point. God, this shit makes me old just saying that shit. No, but in all honesty, this was where like the whole artistic point of video games really came together in this motherfucker, along with some other ones, but this is one of the few that really hit mainstream. You know, we're talking Game of the Year awards, we're talking all kinds of, it didn't have great sales and shit like that, but I mean, we're talking fans who played this game know just how good it was. Fans who actually played the full game, played it from the beginning, and we're talking back on PlayStation 2. Obviously, you know, if you have a newer console and shit like that, I know they re-released it on PlayStation 3, on PC and whatever the hell, but if you got to play it when this game first came out, obviously, we're talking 10 years ago, the quality of this game was just unmatched back in the day. Yeah, look, it doesn't have the graphics that, say, a Final Fantasy would have had. It didn't have, you know, the amount of content you would do in a Grand Theft Auto and shit like that. But the fact that they came up with this unique puzzle-type game with all of the artistic motions that they had in this game, this was a quality game, and there's no question about it. So if you ever get a chance to play this shit, if you ever get a chance to play it on PlayStation 2, let's say you were an Xbox player, let's say you were a PC player, and you see this shit, you know, on Steam or whatever the hell for a couple bucks, or you go out and you buy a PlayStation 4, you see it in the PlayStation Store, buy it. This shit is worth it. It really was one of the top games a couple of console generations ago, and it won all those awards for a reason. And you guys are probably just looking at it and judging it by one fucking boss fight, but I'll tell you right now, the whole game itself, the whole package, this is what people wanted back in the day. This was an excellent game when they came out, and this is why The Last Guardian is so hyped up. I know a lot of people on Xbox are like, what the fuck is the appeal of The Last Guardian? I'll tell you now, after that fucking 10-year delay and shit like that, it's almost like, yeah, that shit has a lot of hype to live up to. But it was this game and Ico that really set the developer apart to show that they know how to make a good game. So that's why when The Last Guardian's been in development hell for the past, I don't know how many fucking years. Shit was supposed to be on PlayStation 3. This shit never came out. But that's why, you know, people are so hyped up and they want to see The Last Guardian on PlayStation 4. Because if they played the Shadow of the Colossus, chances are they want to see what that studio can do again. And here, just Treehugger says having all kinds of issues. Now, I know he mentioned that this was his first time ever playing the game, so obviously the gameplay wasn't fantastic, and he just had to, you know, pick something or whatever the hell it is. So he's struggling with this boss right here, and I can tell he's having trouble getting on the damn the flaps or whatever the hell that shit is, the fins, but I don't know what the fuck you want to call it. But basically, he's not able to get up on top of the motherfucker, as you can see. Oh man, he's struggling. There you go. Finally got his ass on that motherfucker, man. Anyway, like I mentioned, I think I've been saying this for a couple weeks now. Hitfire Commentary number 300 is just around the corner and shit like that. And the guys who are supposed to be doing the video, these are all the people that have been banned from the channel. They have procrastinated this shit to the last fucking second. Now, as I've said, I want to do Hitfire Commentary number 300 as soon as the year starts. I want to do that first video. As soon as January 1st hits, whatever that first video is going to be, it's supposed to be Hitfire Commentary number 300. You guys can see, I have the shit lined up perfectly. Each and every week, I'm having a Hitfire Commentary video come out. That way, when it's the first week of 2016, it's going to be Hitfire Commentary number 300. But these guys have procrastinated all the way to the end. They're over on Prestige Games. I've given them like fucking, what, 10 months now to get their shit together, you know, do the fucking video. And it's only now they're like, hey, you know, we really got to get some shit in and just send it in. Like I said, it doesn't have to be all four of them, but, you know, ideally I like to get all four of them in one fucking video, but I know with scheduling and shit like that, and at this point, after waiting fucking 10 months, they could have sent this shit in at any fucking time, but they waited all the way to the goddamn end of this motherfucker, man. Anyway, man, whatever. If they could get this shit in, they could get this shit in by video number 300. If not, I'll have to come up with something for video number 300, because I'd like to get that shit in, but you know what? They just can't make it happen. Can't make it happen. What am I gonna do in this motherfucker? Alright. Then you see Treehugger has stabbed it took me forever to remember that name, fucking Phalanx. It was like, I knew it. You know when you know something is on the tip of your tongue, it took me that fucking long. So now that I remember it, I'm trying to remember all the names of the other ones that were in the fucking game. But anyway, then you see he kills Phalanx and shit like that. I don't know if he's gonna have time to show the aftermath. No, it doesn't look like he's gonna only have a couple of seconds of this motherfucker. But anyway, That's just one of the 16 colossus, or colossi, whatever, you gotta say that singular, that you actually have to face in this game. Is that it? Yeah, it looks like that's the end of the video, man. But anyway, that was an excellent video. That shit was a blast from the past and one of my favorite games that I played back on the older console generations. Anyway, as always, rate, comment, subscribe, and all that good shit, and I'll see you guys in the next video.